Hey, what's up, beanies? It's your bro Crazy, and today I have a little bit more of a serious video than normal. I don't do these videos, I was gonna say often. I never do these types of videos, but I'm just gonna be sitting down talking about something that has really been bothering me and just I need to say. I gotta get it off my chest. It's something that I see here and there. It's very situational, and that is the topic of gun control. That's not something that I usually talk about here. I do own guns. I do go out shooting, and I do upload a couple videos here and there of guns, but pretty much all of my video footage on this channel is gaming, and I do a little bit of airsoft as well. But just today, as I got home from the university, the news was on, and I see that YouTube headquarters, one of their buildings, I guess out in California, had an active shooter that I guess it was like a girlfriend or someone like that was mad at their boyfriend, went in there and shot. I'm not sure about all the details because I didn't sit down and watch it all, but obviously our prayers and our thoughts and uh, our pain, that we feel about these situations, it really goes out to those that might have been hurt or harmed or injured or even killed in these situations. And it is never, ever a good thing when somebody decides to act on their anger and to harm other people. Never a good thing. But that's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is, what is this? What is even this? A little bit bigger, right? Or how about this right here? Uh, what are they? Are they tools? Are they assault weapons? Are they weapons? Well, I can tell you right now that they are definitely tools. 100% they are tools. Okay, so well, what is a weapon, right? A weapon is anything that you take into your hand to do harm to someone else. And doing harm to someone is not always a bad thing. When there's an active shooter and a cop shoots them, that cop just did harm to that active shooter. That's not a bad thing. He put a stop to what they were doing, right? So that's not a bad thing ever if something is classified as a weapon. It just depends on how it is being used. And then there's this term assault rifle. You are assaulting a person, but this right here in and of itself is not an assault weapon. It is just a weapon, and I can use it to assault somebody with if I want to, but it is an AR-15. For those who don't know, AR does not stand for assault rifle. It simply stands for Armalite rifle. That is what this is modeled after. Armalite is the company who designed it. They actually have different models, not just an AR-15, AR-10, stuff like that. They shoot different calibers. Anyway, the point is, these are weapons. Yes, they're tools, definitely. But are they assault weapons? No. What people do is assault others with these weapons. That does not make them an assault weapon. Now, something important to understand is our Second Amendment, or our rights in general, right? So the Second Amendment states that we have the right to keep and bear arms. It says a well-regulated militia being necessary, right? So anyway, well, what were they talking about? You don't use definitions that we make nowadays. That includes you, Webster, for trying to change things. You don't use modern definitions to define things that were written previously. It doesn't make sense, but you just don't do it in general. So what did they mean whenever they wrote that? By the very definition, actually, even as late as 1828, I believe it was that the word weapons of offense and war, right? And armor for defense. So it included armor as well. But let's also talk about our rights in general, right? So we have our different amendments. Some people want to repeal the Second Amendment, and as they actively use their First Amendment to say about, what they need to do. But I can tell you right now that if I never used my First Amendment and I decided to quote unquote give it up, I would always still have it. Because at the end of the day, the amendments do not give you the right to do something. You can take away the Second Amendment, you can take away the First Amendment, but we're all created by our Creator and endowed with these rights that are inalienable from us. They cannot be taken away by any man, including ourselves. We always have the right to go back and claim and use our free speech. We have the right to lay down our lives but we also have the right to defend our lives and the lives of those around us that we care about. Arms are part of that, and they included that in there very specifically because they wanted us to be able to protect ourselves, not just go hunting. So my co-owner for this YouTube channel, a scrub, everyone's favorite scrub, his dad actually is a nurse, and he was telling me the story about this guy. It just recently happened. His father is a nurse and had this guy come in, and he had been stabbed by his like girlfriend or wife or something like that. So guys, do not make your wives or girlfriends or whatever that mad at you. But she stabbed him in the heart with a steak knife, and he's lucky to be alive because that actually like severed or something like his pulmonary artery or something like that in his heart. So the guy is lucky to be alive, very blessed indeed to be walking the earth still. But the question is, where is that on the news, right? Do we suddenly take away steak knives from houses? Are they just too evil? If they have black handles, are they more evil? If their ergonomics are different, serrated edges or whatever, does that make them more evil? Or is it the person that misused a tool and used it as a weapon to assault somebody with, right? At that point, that steak knife became an assault weapon, and that's what that was, right? But it's not called an AR. It's called a steak knife still. That's what it is. They just happen to use a tool that we use on a daily basis to do harm with. And I think that that's something super important to understand, and using their logic, their logic would be we need to take these steak knives out of homes. But, if you're rich, you can still have them. I mean, you got to have your 500 steaks cut by a nice knife, and a butter knife won't cut it, right? So you got to have your steak knives if you're rich. That's kind of the idea behind a lot of their logic. They say that they don't want us to have guns, yet they themselves will have bodyguards to places that have guns. That's not the police. That's a bodyguard with a gun, and it's doing its job because a butter knife won't do it sometimes, So these people understand the concept, but they have their intentions. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that these news media outlets, the individuals, the newscasters at like CNN or whatever, I'm not saying that they don't care about people's lives, but they really don't care about our rights. They care about theirs, but they don't care about the rights of the people. They don't care about your well-being and your ability to protect yourself at the end of the day. And that's what that says, right? So, whether this is used to quote unquote assault somebody, whether this tool that is a hex key is used as a weapon to assault people, this multi-tool that happens to also have a knife on it, all tools, all can be used as potential weapons. All can potentially be used as, assault weapons, technically. That's not what they are. These are tools. They are weapons, definitely, if you use them as a weapon. But when somebody comes to attack me with their petty weapon tools that they use to assault me, I can have something here that I can defend my family with, I can defend my neighbors with, and that is something that I have the right to lay down my life to save a life. So guys, remember that as this is all happening, obviously our prayers go out to those that were involved in this shooting, whether they were hurt, injured, or killed, guys. And these right here did not do it. It was not an active gun shooting itself in some room. It was an active shooter. It's the person, not the tool that they're using, guys. So remember that. Stay safe and be blessed, guys. Bye.